Given that f of x is equal to 5 plus x all over 2, and g of x is equal to 6 over x, calculate the value of g of 1.5. Now we know that g of x is equal to 6 over x, and we have to figure what is g of 1.5. So in this case, x is equal to 1.5. So wherever we see x, we're going to put 1.5. And so we put 1.5 here and 1.5 here. So g of 1.5 is equal to 6 over 1.5. And 6 divided by 1.5 is definitely 4. So g of 1.5 is equal to 4. Next, we have to calculate x, where f of x is equal to -9. Now, f of x, what is f of x? F of x is 5 plus x all over 2. And so we have 5 plus x divided by 2 is equal to 9. And so we have to put, 5 plus x over 2 is equal to -9. And so again, we have f of x is equal to -9. We know that f of x is equal to 5 plus x over 2. And so we have 5 plus x over 2 is equal to -9. Now we're going to take -9 and put it over 1. And so we have 5 plus x over 2 is equal to -9 over 1. And we cross multiply. Remember, our goal is to solve for x. And so when we cross multiply, we say 1 times 5 plus x and 5 plus x. 1 times 5 plus x is simply 5 plus x. Then we have 2 times -9. And so we have 2 times -9 here. And 2 times -9 is -18. And so we have 5 plus x is equal to -18. We take the 5 and we send it over the equal sign. And so we have x is equal to -18 minus 5. And -18 minus 5 is equal to -23. So x is equal to -23. And that's our answer to this question. X is equal to -23. Next, it says, calculate a simplified expression for g of f of x. And so this right here is a function within a function. So we have f of x is the baby function, g is the parent function. F of x being the baby function is inside of a g of x. And so here they want us to write a simplified expression for g of f of x. So remember, f of x is inside of g. And what is g? Well, g is equal to g is equal to 6 over x. And so if you look at it, wherever we see x, right, instead of putting x, we're going to put f of x. So f of x goes inside because x is here, and x is here. So we're going to put, remember, instead of putting x, we put f of x, okay? Now, what is f of x? Well, f of x is actually equal to this whole fraction right now, which is 5 plus x all over 2, okay? So we have 6 divided by this fraction, and so let's write that down properly. So we have 6 over 1 divided by 5 plus x over 2. And so we have 2 fractions that we're dividing, right? Now, whenever you're dividing 2 fractions, you have to keep, switch, and flip. Now, what does that mean? So that means that we're gonna keep the 6 over 1. We're gonna switch the multiplication sign into the division. We're gonna switch the division sign into a multiplication sign. So we switch that. And then we're gonna flip, right? We're gonna flip this fraction. So that means that this goes at the bottom and this goes at the top. And so that's what we're gonna do. Keep, switch, and flip. That's how we divide 2 fractions. We keep the first fraction intact. We switch the division sign into a multiplication sign, and we flip this fraction. The 5 plus x goes at the bottom, and the 2 goes at the top. And so let's do that. So we keep the 6 over 1. We switch the division sign into a multiplication sign, and we flipped. So we take 5 plus x, we put that at the bottom, we put the 2 at the top. And so that's how we do that. Now let's simplify. What we have here is 6 times 2, and 6 times 2 is 12, and 1 times 5 plus x is simply 5 plus x. And so we have 12 over 5 plus x. And that is a simplified expression for g of f of x. Next, our goal is to determine the inverse of g. which is denoted as G inverse of X. Now, what is G of X? Well, G of X is equal to 6 over X. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set G of X equal to Y. So we have Y is equal to 6 over X. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to swap X and Y. So they're going to switch places. So the X goes here, the Y goes here. And next we're going to solve for Y. So we're going to cross multiply. We put X over 1. That's equal to 6 over Y. We cross multiply. So Y times X is going to be equal to XY, and 1 times 6 is equal to 6. We divide both sides of this equation by X. So this cancels with that. And so Y is equal to 6 over X. And so that means that G inverse of X is equal to 6 over X. And so G of X is equal to 6 over X, and G inverse of X is equal to 6 over X. And that's our answer to this question. Quick recap, what did we do to find the inverse? We set G of X equal to Y. And then the next thing that we do is we swap X and Y. So X is here, Y is here. And then we solve for Y, and we got that Y is equal to 6 over X. And then we say that this Y is equal to G inverse of X. And that's our answer. G inverse of X is equal to 6 over X. And that's the answer to this question.